Temporary, defined as lasting only for a limited time, in other words, not permanent, unless that is your Essex County Council, who, as we shall see today, have a very different interpretation of the word. This is Langford Bridge, which is found on the A128 between Chipping Ongar and Brentwood. It's supposed to carry the road across the River Rodding, but it doesn't, and instead there's another bridge that carries the road running alongside, but there probably shouldn't be. There's been a bridge situated at Langford for possibly hundreds of years, but in the 1920s a more modern concrete structure was put in place to serve the increasingly popular motorised vehicle. These days the bridge sits on a very busy road that links the A12 and the A414, and if there's a problem on the nearby M25, the A128 can be used as a diversion route. For about 70 years there wasn't a problem, but in 1991 Essex County Council were busy justifying their existence by conducting an assessment and strengthening programme. Basically they were looking at all of their old structures to see if any were about to collapse. Langford Bridge was assessed along with many others, and to the council's surprise the bridge built in 1920 was found to not be adequate enough to handle the weight of modern traffic. It's fair to say that that was a bit of a problem, so how to solve it? The first idea was just impose a weight limit along the road and bridge, but that wouldn't work because the road was used as a diversion route when there were problems on the M25. The trucks needed to go somewhere, so a weight limit wasn't going to work. What about just building a new bridge? Well, nailed it. That's the obvious solution. The council set about drawing up a new design and plan before deciding that they didn't have enough money to actually construct their new bridge, so they just pinned the design on the fridge and forgot all about it. Having spent a load of cash on planning and designing to get nowhere, more cash was thrown at feasibility studies to see if the existing structure could be repaired or strengthened in some way, because that was definitely going to be a more cost-effective option. It would be if it weren't for the fact that the feasibility studies found the existing structure to be buggered beyond repair. Trying to fix it would most likely lead to further damage, so bridge strengthening was out of the question. With it looking more likely that the bridge was going to fall apart, a quick and cheap solution was needed, so as quickly as they could over the course of 7 years they installed a temporary bridge to handle the traffic whilst planning to install a new bridge when funds allowed. After all, they had the design and plan ready to go, just sat on the fridge. The temporary bridge is actually two steel deck type bridges lowered into position, bolted together and then connected to the roads. It's basic and it works, but it looks shite. No bother though, because the terms and conditions of planning were that the temporary bridges could remain in place for 5 years, by which time the council were to construct a new bridge which would of course last for decades and look much nicer. Maybe similar to the original, who knows, but it's not like we'd have to put up with these crappy bridges for long, is it? 5 years later, in 2003, the council said, sorry, we got no money still, can't help you. So an extension was applied for, and after another 5 years, the council were to build the new bridge. Surely, by this time, the funds would be available. The year is now 2008. Yep, recessions, financial buggery, we're all ruined, and there's no way that bridge is happening now. So an extension was applied for, and after another 5 years, the council were to build the new bridge. Surely by 2013, the funds would be available. No. It's now 2024 and the temporary structure installed in 1998 is still in situ. It's not clear if anyone even remembers the original point of the temporary bridge. I can't find any mention of it in more recent times, so maybe everyone's just swept it under the rug and gotten on with their lives. But is 26 years temporary? According to Essex County Council it is, who no doubt still have a drawing of a very nice bridge pinned on the fridge that maybe one day will get built, when the funds allow for it of course. Thanks for watching.